Get her down to top. Age, get her down to top.
Survival games have exploded over the past few years. The store charts are filled with all kinds of examples, including classic survival horror games and new hardcore survival sims. To help any bewildered adventurers, we've gathered together the best survival games to help you pick and choose which emergent stories and unexpected adventures to undertake. So, without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with number 15, we have L.O.S.T. It's a 3D action survival game that begins with a plane crash on an apparently deserted island, and incredibly, a few of the passengers survived. In this adventure, you'll control one of the survivors of the mysterious plane crash. Both the gameplay and game design of L.O.S.T. are very similar to other survival games like Last Day on Earth, but there's a twist. This time, you'll have to try and survive on an apparently deserted island. Down to number 14, we have Desert Skies. It's a wonderful concept open-world sandbox game where you craft your weapon to kill monsters in the desert. But here's a twist. Players should take care of his health in different perspectives like water, food, etc. Also, on initial state, players have nothing, only hot air balloon raft which help you defend yourself from monsters in the desert, and weapon workshop. For visual perspective, game has nice and clean graphics, but control are not good. Moving right along to number 13 with Terraria. It's an action-adventure sandbox game developed by Relogic. The game was initially released for Microsoft Windows and has since been released for other PC, consoles, handhelds, and mobile platform. Terraria features exploration, crafting, building, and combat with a variety of creatures in procedurally generated 2D world. The game starts in a procedurally generated world with players starting out with a few basic tools to get them started. Moving right along to number 12 with Ocean is Home. This is a survival game where you have to try and live the life of a man who has got on a deserted island. You'll have to look for food, build a house, collecting and crafting things necessary for life. Your only goal is to survive. You can use mine wood and use it to craft items for construction of houses, weapons for hunting animals, tools for fishing, water extraction, electricity, and many other things. You can explore the island by car and boat. By looking at perspective, the graphics is decent and controls are good. Number 11, we have Utopia Origin. This is a survival MMORPG like Conan Exile style, where you get to delve deep into a huge fantasy world and do basically whatever you want. Fight against monsters, talk to other players, build all kinds of buildings, explore inhospitable areas, and much more. You can also move around the Utopia Origin world and run anywhere and teleport yourself, as well as climb different structures, swim, dive, and even ride different elements. Unlike other games in the same genre, it doesn't constantly take you by the hand or become annoying. Down to number 10, we have XSurvive. It's a super fun action and adventure survival game that challenges you to control a character that's trying to survive in this secluded area. XSurvive features build and craft system in which you'll collect elements that can help you build structures, dig caves, and create defense mechanism in order to protect yourself. Visuals in XSurvive are pretty outstanding, and the controls are not difficult to manage. Moving right along to number 9 with Seagal's. It's an exciting survival game with advanced RPG elements. The game relies on classic, time-honored mechanics of survival games. Here you'll have to explore the territory, search for resources, craft weapons and equipment, build and strengthen the base, engage in intense fights with various enemies. The game also offers some elaborate RPG components and a fascinating storyline. Down to number 8, we have Survive Together Zombie MMO, a world full of zombies, witches, and some dangerous creatures, and what you have to do here is survive. There are so many similarities between Survive Together and Last Day on Earth. Both games are online survival Android games, which of course set in post-apocalyptic semi-open world settings. There are major feature similarities like gathering resources, building a house or shelter, and completing different quests and missions. Moving right along to number 7 with Frostborn. This is a new cooperative role-playing game full of dynamic and spectacular adventures, where everyone will find a lot of ways to entertain themselves. For example, invite 3 more friends to play in cooperative mode, or unite with other players into a clan to jointly build a base, attack enemies, and so much more. Overall, Frostborn is a relatively complex and modern game with great mechanics and an interesting storyline. At number 6, we have Fallout Shelter. It's a multiplayer sequel to Bethesda's free-to-play vault management sim. You will start the game by creating a vault and meet Overseeker, aka Vault Manager, and his assistant who guides you throughout the game. One of the major additions is a PvP multiplayer mode where you face off against rival players to determine who is the best overseer of them all.
War. War never changes. From the beginning, there has always been chaos. People will suffer shortages of each and every major resource. Oil, electricity, food, water. No corner of this great planet will be unaffected. Fortunately, Vault-Tec has designed the Vault of the Future. Extensive underground fallout shelters for you and your...
Down to number 5, we have the Escapist 2. This is a strategy role-playing game, and it is a sequel to the Escapist 2015. In the game, players assume control of an inmate from a top-down perspective. The inmate must follow daily routines in the prison while at the same time complete quests for fellow inmates and seek out opportunities to escape. The Escapist 2 features a crafting system which allows players to craft items like shovels, tasers, and dummies to confuse guards. Moving right along to number 4 with LifeAfter is a zombie survival game where players are tasked to survive in the post-apocalyptic virus-infected world by whichever way possible. Players are tasked to hunt their food and must deal with a variety of scenarios as they scavenge for material to fend off zombies for longer. Additionally, one could even craft their own weapons and build a shelter to protect themselves and survive the day. Moving right along to number 3 with Dark Days Survival Horror. It's an action and survival game that's clearly inspired by Last Day on Earth. This time, you'll have to survive in a devastated world where the only other survivors are animals and zombies. Luckily, you can build your own base of operations and start your conquest. You can also use the crafting menu to make all kinds of tools and gather the different type of resources by exploring the map. By a look perspective, the graphics of this game is amazing. Down to number 2, we have Radiation Island. It's a survival crafting game not unlike Minecraft. Elongated, it's a first-person open-world wilderness and zombie survival simulation. The story is that you wake up on a mysterious island that was occupied by Japanese forces in the 1940s. Visually, this game is an absolute stunner. Atypical pushed the pedal to the metal and made a game that pushes mobile devices to the limits. This game will kill your battery. Finally, at number 1, we have Last Day Rules Survival. It's an excellent survival game that, far from offering an instantiated experience like Last Day on Earth and other similar games, this game challenges you to survive inside an island that's full of danger. Hunger and the animals on the island will definitely make it harder on you. In addition, you'll need to collect a bunch of different materials including wood, rock, steel, which you can use to build basically anything you'd like. Alright guys, as I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're new around here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, would really mean a lot to me. Look at you guys in the next one.